And good morning, everyone. Wow, it is Thursday. We have gotten through 24 hours of this messy snow on the ground, but now they tell us, depending on which weather forecast you're looking at, that the snow/storm is coming here on this Thursday, October 22nd, 2020, and it will be with us for about 24 hours, depending on who you believe. And of course, south of us, lots and lots of snow. So certainly the end of the cropping season for just about everything that's out there, I guess, except maybe sunflowers that are strong enough to stand up and just be there against anything else that's coming. Some news stories for you today on this version of Chat CANNA. My name is John Reitmeier, and we welcome you to the show for this Thursday. It's been an incredible year. And of course, it's kind of funny. We're maybe complaining a little bit right now, but it has been a wonderful, wonderful year. It's just that this came upon us way too fast. It went from nice to not so nice. Colorado really had the problem. They basically had what we had here last year. And just a little bit review in the Wayback Machine at the end of October. It was as beautiful of a year last year as it was for us. And all of a sudden, we had almost right here at this farm, almost 8 inches of rain and then a snowstorm. And the several hundred plants that we had out of CBD, they were the most beautiful Christmas trees that you could imagine. It just looked like a Christmas tree farm with the 6-7 foot plants spaced 6 feet by 3.5, 4 feet. And as you looked across the field, we had started harvesting just a little bit, and they were just absolutely beautiful. As our first run, everyone was telling us, my goodness, you have a crop. They had passed all the Minnesota tests as a product that could enter the stream. Everything was just wonderful on every level. And all of a sudden that rain just came, and it was not a friendly rain. It just poured down. And of course, it broke all of the outside leaves down and down onto the ground, and then followed up by that snow. And the snow was about this deep when it was all done with that rain underneath it. The other thing that we had no experience with is this particular field. We broke it to plant this hemp on it. It had not been anything since 1961. And before that, it had been a pig pasture since 1920. So imagine it had 41 years of being a pig pasture. And then it had sat just grassland that had been mowed until now. And that's why we thought it was the perfect place to have hemp. And turns out that it was, apparently. But along with that, we had never considered what 8 inches of rain might do there. And of course, over those years, it had 2 places to drain, but they had kind of been filled in, both with grass growing and being mowed and not paying any particular attention to it. So we had some water that was standing under the snow, and it was just a mess. And basically, although we did harvest those plants, they when it was all said and done, they amounted to nothing, and it was a total loss. It was just a crazy and a terrible thing. And that's how last year turned out for us. Now it seems that our friends out in Colorado, even though they are a higher country and they certainly have the elevation to drain things off, this early snap that from yesterday and the day before in Colorado has dumped exactly the same problem on Colorado. Freezing inches of snow, and they're talking millions of dollars worth of outdoor hemp plants are probably lost, destroyed. They are talking already of what it's going to do to the market. They're saying that it's going to be a huge demand and a short supply, and it is just going to, first of all, interfere with the smokable, the product where people are literally taking it right off the plant, drying it, and putting it into the stores where people are buying it direct. And over time, it is going to affect the processor and the oils that come off of that and go into all of the products that we buy. Different farmers saying things like we were on pace for the largest harvest that we've ever had. And the weight of the snow is what brought them down. And that's the same thing that we had last year. It was the weight. If it wasn't the harsh rain, when the snow came along, it just broke everything down and put it down into that rain and snow mix down on the ground. This gentleman's talking $4 to $5 million loss. If not, the entire crop will go toward extraction, and they're saying, a significantly lower price won't be a total loss, but market dynamics, demand is outstripping supply. They'll try and get something out of it. But they're all talking about, just as we were feeling last year, you thought you had the best, and it turned out to just be a disastrous feeling. San Luis Valley, near this town of Moffat, southern Colorado, hemp grower Harvey Craig is saying temperatures high 20s on Wednesday morning yesterday. Anything left outside is frozen solid. Greenhouses that they've got them covered, but anything outside, they are just they're just lost. The frost knocked off any of the trichomes, he are saying, and it's a devastating loss. They are just they're talking no different than the folks down in New Orleans or along the coast talked when the different hurricanes and tsunamis, or light tsunamis, the big waves, came in. Denver-based companies are talking about how the workers were up late trying to save everything, trying to bring anything into a greenhouse that they could grab in any way. But it's just anything that's left is going to be what's called lower end, cheap material. The prices are going to be way down in the bottom. So anybody that's got any premium stuff here this year, if you can find the people that want to buy it and get together with them, it looks like if you can replace the Colorado stuff that was lost, you will have a market for it. The pictures that are coming up on the internet, it's, my smile is not that I'm happy for these guys in any way, but it's just amazing how it looks exactly like our pictures from last year. And that's really sad. I mean, there's just nothing to say about that, but how sad it was. So that's what's happening out in Colorado. That's the last 48 hours there. And of course, that's happening across Minnesota and North Dakota. But I'm thinking that a whole lot of people, at least the people we're talking to, have got any CBD type stuff in. Industrial stuff might be out there. And I think that that's being harvested or was at as fast a rate as it could be. Green Grow Technologies has acquired some California real estate, and they are going to start doing CBD seed. Of course, that's the big thing now, is that CBD farmers are looking for more than that handful of seeds that they want for their back little quarter acre. We are talking about CBD seeds going across 80 acres. And folks like our neighbors that are doing CBD to scale are talking about 20,000 seeds per acre. I can't even do that across 80 acres in my mind. A whole lot of seeds. So they're not even talking per seed anymore. They're talking pounds or bushels. Oh, my calculator's working right here to my right. We may get a number here before we're done. But we are talking big numbers of seeds that are going to be needed for the low THC, high CBD hemp seeds. And so people out in California are paying the California prices. We have a number? 1.6 million. 1.6 million seeds to go across 80 acres. You don't know how many seeds fit in a pound, though. I don't know that number either. No, I don't know that number either. So, but they feel that there's enough growth potential in CBD seed market to pay the California price for real estate to be raising this kind of stuff, when certainly they could go to a different state and buy land at a significantly fractional price of California real estate, and be doing this, so that they feel that the temperature, the climate, the difference of the perhaps the ocean humidity rolling in at night, and the sun and the heat and the type of soil is worth the extreme, because really anything in California land is worth putting a house on it. And so it maintains that kind of value, as opposed to any of the neighboring states do not have land that has that kind of value. But hemp seed growers, particularly a company called Green Grow Technologies, are willing to pay that kind of money to get in that biome, to be raising seed for all of us here, as we are trying to get that perfect seed with the THC that we don't have to worry about, that we're not caring about. Doesn't matter if we grow it a little longer, that the THC is not going to be rising to a level that's going to bother us, but yet we're going to get that the CBD up over that 8, 9, 10% to get it up a little higher, especially when we're now talking about not just taking the buds, but taking more of the entire plant. So that's what they are working out there, and have found investors to buy that expensive kind of land. And so we are looking at them and saying, good, go for it, happy. That's good news in the business, because if they feel that that's happening, that's lifting all. I can't get in the camera today. That's lifting us all. Well, if I had a baby to show you, I couldn't show you because I'd be down here and camera's up here. All right, let's go halfway around the world. Australia, particularly a section of Australia called Tasmania. And that, of course, is a place where the Tasmanian devils are known to be from. An animal over there, by the way, an interesting animal, completely as an aside, but I was reading last night about Tasmanian devils are one of the few animals that can transmit cancer between them. No matter what you might hear, humans cannot transfer cancer between themselves. You cannot get cancer from another human being. You only get cancer because of DNA going rampant, because of environmental or DNA in your body. No other way. Radiation can do it too, but I mean, it happens within your body. You cannot, absolutely not get it from another human being. But there's dogs can transfer it to each other, and Tasmanian devils, those animals that you see in cartoons as caricatures, but they're from Tasmania. And Tasmania is a great place to grow agriculture, and it is becoming the place in Australia to grow hemp. And they are just now moving, and they raise an incredibly protein-rich seed over in Tasmania. And so they are really focusing on industrial hemp. But right now they are putting out a big push to not only do and raise the hemp seeds, but they are getting into fiber and hurd. And they are quite excited about it. And they are bringing in the first major processing equipment to start processing it right there, rather than, of course, now the little bit that's done by hand or that's shipped off. And I just wanted to give you some numbers here. This is just to bring you to feel what some of the numbers are in this game. They have this one particular farm. It's run by a woman, by the way, God bless her, turned to an open call basis. She's looking for investment, and she's only taking investments up to US dollars of $3,500. So she's trying to spread risk as she's asking for investments. And she's offering 5% rate of return, which is interesting in today's marketplace. Altogether, she wants to raise $178,000. And then it's going to be matched with some grants and things. So she's going to bring in a total of, it's the weather today, a total of 356,000 American dollars. And that is going to bring in, right now they've got a machine that they've named, and this is the part that I want to share with you. The machine they've named is Choppy Choppy Smashy Smashy. And that is the machine that takes the stalks of the hemp, I apologize, and separates, of course, the seeds and the head on the top, which they already are processing in the way they want. But it's separating the bark from the outside, of course, which we call silk, and the hurd from the inside, because they need to go to two separate processing streams. The silk moving off toward making blue jeans and paper, and the hurd, of course, can make so many things. Hempcrete, cow bedding, actually can be used in cow feed. It can be pressed into little corn kernel-sized things, and it actually has more energy in each kernel than corn does. So there's just many, many, many things that hurd can be used for. Lesser things, but great things that the silk can be used for. And we've got to get that going here in the United States. So let's get a group of investors, put that together. That's something for another show. But I just wanted to talk about the fact that over in Australia, the first push for that is happening right now. And that's happening in the state that we know as Tasmania. It's pronounced a little different, like Tasmania or something like that. And that's our show for today. That's Chat Canna. We hope you enjoyed our Thursday version. Remember, Mondays, Wednesdays, we do a little quickie show. Tuesdays and Thursdays, usually with a guest. But today, people had to go off in other directions, and we sure understand that. Work is not done for the season yet, although this snow has come, and it looks like about 9 o'clock, you said, or 11 o'clock? When are we getting the next bump?
One weather app said 11, one said 1.
One weather is saying 11, one is saying 1 o'clock. It's coming here to the northern Red River Valley. Wherever you might be, hunker down, get the teapot on, make some hot chocolate. We'll look forward to seeing you on Monday with a follow-up to what this weather did for the entire Red River Valley in the Midwest, and have yourselves a great, great fall. That's it for Chat Canna for today. We hope to see you again then. In the meantime, have a great day.